Okay, let's see here. All right, could you just give me a second here. See if you're 6 feet away. Could you just move back just a bit from your screen, just a few inches? Okay, perfect. Hails, meanings, and mortals. This is Fang from Lords of the Trident.
As it has been foretold, the seals have been opened, and plague and pestilence have spread across the land. Toilet paper has now replaced the dollar as the official currency of the United States. And we're all trapped inside our basement bunkers, making YouTube videos and surviving off of old pasta from 2015 that we forgot about in the back of the pantry.
Now, you might wonder, is your band doomed to sit on its collective laurels during this troubled time? We're all being good about practicing social distancing, which means not getting together in groups. But that, unfortunately, means no band practice. Is there any way we can still get things done? Yes! And you don't even have to purchase full-body isolation suits or gallons of hand sanitizer. There are plenty of ways to be productive as a band during quarantine. Here is Fang's tips for being a band in the apocalypse. Option number one, writing. The first and most obvious thing you as a band can do in isolation is write more music. Set aside an hour or more each day to sit down and work on ideas or mess around with the arrangements of songs that are already in process. For bands that normally write as a full group or jam on ideas, this might be a little harder to get used to. Here's 2 solutions to this. First, you can collaborate by recording demos with each other. If you don't currently have a home recording setup, now is the perfect time to invest in this. You can purchase a very capable digital interface and microphone for under $300. At the time of this video, Amazon has a Scarlett Focusrite 2i2 with a decent microphone, XLR cable, and headphones for like $250, and I'll put a link in the description. And if you're a guitarist or bassist, you might not even need the microphone because you can plug directly into the interface and use a free amp sim to play and record your parts. No matter what instrument you play, you can download and use the recording software Reaper to record all of your tracks. You can technically evaluate it for as long as you want, or if you want to be an absolute saint, you can purchase a license for $60, which, trust me, is stupid cheap for the functionality you get. So now that everyone's got their home recording set up together, the person who came up with the initial idea can record it, ideally with a click, and post the idea in MP3 or WAV format to the band's shared Google Drive. Next, each member can download that idea, import it into Reaper, and mess around with it. Each member can write and record multiple different parts that might fit the idea, export those parts as individual files, and also put them in the Google Drive. Once everybody does that, you can import everyone's ideas as multiple tracks and sort of like A/B them against the original part. Using this collective digital jam, everyone can listen and decide on the parts they all like the best. Option number 2 for writing as a group is a bit more complicated and really relies on members having effective patience and communication skills. But you can technically write as a group via video chat. Skype and Google Hangouts have the ability to allow multiple people to connect to the same room and video chat as a group. If you're the type of band that relies on immediate feedback to an idea, you can use this technology to do the same thing that we just did with demos, but over video chat. The general idea is that one person at a time would present their idea or part with everyone else listening and then get feedback and adjust. Obviously, due to lag, you wouldn't be able to play everything together as a group. So this solution really relies on active listening, musical recall, and effective communication. This video chat may slightly scratch that practice itch, but by no means could replace the feeling of a full practice. So what else can you do without your bandmates? Option number two. Optimize. Since we're all in forced downtime, now is the perfect moment to optimize your setup. You finally have the time to clean off all the years of spilled PBR that made your cables so gross and sticky. Or you can organize and optimize your pedal board, install Velcro straps on your cables, change the tubes in your amp, restring your bass. The list goes on and on. Basically, instead of binging the next Netflix show, go through your equipment and cables with a fine-tooth comb and fix or replace anything that needs fixing. Also, now might be the perfect time to optimize your live rig. Have you been saying to yourself, man, I really should move everything into one smaller rack, or I should find a better solution for my cymbals? Well, now is the perfect time to do all those little projects. The time you invest right now could save you stress and precious minutes at your live shows. If you deal with a lot of cables on the regular, I wanted to show off this sweet piece of gear I picked up at NAMM. It's called the Cable Wrangler, and it makes wrapping and keeping track of your cables really easy and handy. They're not sponsoring this video or anything. I just really liked mine, so I'd recommend checking it out. It's $35 for one of these guys, and it's well worth it, especially if you do live sound for venues or the like. Option number three, practice and education. I know, we all practice every day, right? We totally do, for sure. Well, for those of you who don't, now is a great time to start getting into a regular practice routine. One tip to keep things consistent is to set a time of day and a length of time to practice, and set an alarm on your phone. We can all lose track of time while we're stuck in our bunkers and forget to do daily practicing. If you've already got a good practice routine set up, you can instead focus on educating yourself about other topics in the music world. Maybe now is the perfect time to learn about business tax law, or the ins and outs of compressor use, or how to make your own music videos. I don't have to tell a person watching this channel that there are hundreds of hours of amazing tutorials all over the internet, so now is the time to find and watch them. Option number four, live streams. Perhaps you've got an album or two of acoustic covers lying around, or you've always wanted to try out your homemade one-man band setup with a big giant bass drum on the back. Well, now is the time to dip your toe into the wide ocean of live stream content. I'll be making a full video on this soon, but at the moment, pretty much everyone is equipped to do a decent sounding acoustic solo performance from their living room. Keep your eyes peeled for a full video on this coming soon. So hey, I want to know, what are you doing to keep yourself sane during this quarantine? Do you have any tips for your fellow musicians? Leave them below in the comments section. And if you want to help your lords restock our ramen supply, leave us a buck or two on our Patreon at patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay the indoors. We'll see you next time.